if you are wanting to get back to the gym but you're a little bit anxious, worried, unsure about getting back to it because it's been so long and maybe you're so out of shape compared to where you used to be as a athlete who could do all sorts of different things. Well, let me ease your anxiety and give you a plan on what the best way is to get back into it without destroying yourself in the process. Because that is the number one mistake, is going back and going way too hard too soon and destroying yourself on the first day or the first week, and then never going back again because you've decided, nope, it's too hard, it hurts too much, and I don't want to play anymore. First, let yourself be a beginner again. You might have been doing great in your 20s, but another 20 years later, and your body is different. It's taken on so much more stress. It's not as flexible as it once was. It's not as strong as it once was. It doesn't recover like it once did. So you can't expect to be able to push as much load into it as you once did. When you were in your 20s, you had plenty more time. You could train really hard, and if you did train too hard, you just sleep another few hours. Sleep through till lunchtime, not a big deal. Your body would recover and bounce back. Well, it doesn't do that anymore. It's not going to do that, no matter how much you wish upon a star. So you have to treat it like it is learning to walk again. Now, learning to walk might sound a little bit too extreme, but I have been through that process where I had to teach myself how to walk again. After a crazy injury, I had to learn how to walk and engage certain muscles so that I would not be walking in pain, because I had messed my body up so much through my hips. Basically, it was from my feet all the way up through to my neck. Now for you, it shouldn't be that extreme. So start slow, treat yourself as a beginner, even if you have all of those skills, and go easy to start with. So think about your first week or so at the gym. Maybe try and put in 20% effort. All I want you to do for the first week is show up. Show up and go through the motions. You do not have to go for an hour. In fact, I don't want you to go for an hour. I would rather you go to the gym in your first week for 20-30 minutes max. And that includes any of your stretching, warm up. I mean, your workout could be 10-15 minutes, and that's plenty. Because you just want to be doing a little bit to get the body used to moving again. Remember, you can't recover from way too much. So what you're doing is training just enough that you know you're going to be able to recover from it. You want to train enough that it stimulates the muscles and the energy system, but not so much that you are so sore the next day that you cannot move, that you cannot function, that you cannot think. So while 20% sounds really, really low, imagine if you got to the gym 5 days in the week and you did 20 minutes a day. You did a little bit of strength work, you did a little bit of cardio, you did a little bit of stretching. You should feel good by the end of the week, to the point where you want to go back and do more again next week. And then the next week, maybe you push it up to 30% or 40%, and you slowly work your way up. And you find that limit gradually as to how much your body can recover from. Oh, okay, I can do this. The first month is not for hitting PRs. The first or the second month or the third month is not for hitting PRs. By the end of 3 months, you should just be getting back into it and starting to feel like yourself again. Starting to feel like you have a little bit of athleticism. But that's it. You shouldn't be going, oh yeah, I can run for whatever, I can do this, I can do this. Here's how your body works. Your muscles can recover reasonably well and reasonably quickly. That's how they're designed. But your tendons and ligaments are going to take 5 to 10 times longer than that. So if your muscle can recover from a brutal workout in, let's say, a week, right? You go in there and you push it really hard. your muscles recover in a week. Those tendons and ligaments, they may take 6 weeks to recover. They might take 8 weeks to recover. They take so much more that they need to be conditioned slowly and gradually in order for them to not strain or sprain or tear, all of these things. Remember that they haven't had the stretch put through them. They haven't had the force put through them for so long that they need to get used to that again. You will have heard the expression, you don't run until you can walk. Or maybe you need to start walking a lot. See, walking is magic for conditioning those tendons and ligaments, getting your joints lubricated, getting the muscles working, but without putting them under too much stress. You are doing it at a slow and gentle pace so that they are getting the blood pumped through them. They're getting used to moving. They're getting used to recovering. And that's why walking is so brilliant. So, start with a 20% effort. Work your way up gradually, maybe 10% a week. And you don't even have to get to that 100% mark. Training at 80% is probably going to be as much as you really need when you're in your 40s. So next, where are you going to train? Are you going to train at the place that is just around the corner, or do you want to train at somewhere where you're also dealing with other high achievers? Do you want to train in a group because you are less motivated to do all the work yourself, or do you want to train by yourself? Do you want to train at a gym or a private studio with a trainer? Do you want to train at home by yourself? Do you want to train with dumbbells, kettlebells? Do you want to do calisthenics? Do you want to swim? Do you want to cycle? Do you want to run? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you choose when you're getting back into it, but it is important that you choose what you want to do that matches up with your goals. Because if you're just doing, let's say you're just going to the gym and you're lifting weights, but your goal is to do a triathlon, then you're missing out on all of the stimulus needed to be able to complete the activity that you really want to do. So pick your environment carefully. There's no harm in going and trying a few different places just to see what works. If you don't like the vibe of a place, you're probably not going to want to turn up there. So if you can find somewhere with a good vibe, good people and good atmosphere, you're more likely to show up. The opposite is true as well. If it's got a dodgy atmosphere, a vibe that is just, I don't know, stuck up or pretentious or aggro or unfriendly or whatever, you're not going to want to step foot into the place. So it's very, very careful that you choose the right people. Same thing if you're going to go and work with a personal trainer. You want to find someone who you relate to, who gets you. Yeah, you want them to have some good experience and that's great, but also they need to be able to speak your language. You want to be able to relate to them. You want to be able to like them. The no-like trust factor comes in here. So choose carefully, because that will also dictate your success. And a lot of your success comes into, do you trust the person who's in front of you? And are you happy to show up to that environment on a regular basis so that you can do what you know you need to do? Now, when I say just show up, that is the key word here. You want to make some progress, just show up. You want to get somewhere with your training, just show up. You want to lose some weight, just show up. The details of everything that you do don't matter anywhere near as much as you showing up on a regular basis and putting in the effort. Yes, a great program is good, but a great program practiced once a week is not going to be anywhere near as good as a pretty decent program practiced 6 or 7 times a week. So choose wisely. I already mentioned, don't even worry about PRs. Don't worry about what you used to do. Don't worry about trying to hit your old numbers right now. That just feeds the ego. Don't worry about what the person next to you is doing. Don't worry about what the 80-year-old guy is doing because he looks really, really fit, and how is he still doing that at that age, and he's twice as old as me. Don't worry about any of that. What's important is you finding your starting point and slowly and gradually improving from there. So I like tracking your workouts so that you have some idea of what you've done. You know the sort of weights you're lifting, you know the distance that you're able to go on the bike, on a rowing machine, on the treadmill. You know how far you can run, you don't know how fast you can run. You know how many steps you've done for the week. You might have a smartwatch and be tracking your heart rate variability, which allows you to see how much effort you can put in each day. So heart rate variability is basically how much energy do I have today and am I fully recovered? So maybe it's a score out of 10, which allows you to say, okay, I'm a 5 today, probably shouldn't train too hard. Tomorrow you wake up and you're an 8. Well, that gives you the chance to go hard on that day because you're probably going to feel better and you're going to recover a whole lot better. The next day you're a 7. Great, you can put in a decent effort. The next day you're an 8 again. You can go hard. The next day you might have had a stressful day at work, not slept so great that night, wake up as a 5 again. You're probably not going to be able to push quite so hard again. So you got a bunch of different data sources that you can use. If you use these, you use them to track your progress compared to you and you alone, because the rest of it doesn't matter. What other people are doing doesn't matter. You're starting from scratch. You're building a foundation again. It's time to just build things up gradually and allow them to improve as you improve. And like I said, you just keep comparing you to you so that you can be the best version of you, rather than trying to compare you to someone else and getting competitive and getting an injury and then having to sit out for 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever it is. So a gym helps to build the best version of yourself, whether it is outside or at a facility, wherever it is, it doesn't matter, but it's your place to go and work on you. You work on your physicality, improves every other area of your life. So the more regularly you train, the more disciplined you get, the better it gets, the easier it gets. The more regularly you train, the better your diet should get, because you are more focused on your goals and more motivated to eat a little bit better so you can hit those goals. The more disciplined you get, the more that flows over to every other area of your life. The more disciplined you get, the fitter you get, the healthier you get, the better a leader you become, because you start to build up a presence of when you walk in the room, of being cool, calm, collected, and ready for whatever is going to happen, ready for whatever goes down. So just get started. If you're not sure where to start, totally understand. Start with maybe some mobility on a regular basis. In the community, there is a 5-minute mobility protocol that you could do every single day. And that's just to get your body working again. You could go walk for an hour every single day, working your way up to try to get 10,000 steps a day, even if you have to break it up between a 20-minute walk at lunchtime, 20-minute walk before work, 20-minute walk after work, an hour walk after dinner, whatever it is. But just fitting it in small movements. You could, while you are walking, drop and do a set of push-ups, a set of dips on a bench, some squats, some lunges, some pull-ups, hanging, whatever it is. And if you want something more structured, there's the 21-day muscle and metabolism challenge inside the group that you can grab. That's set up that you can do that at a gym or at home if you wanted to, with minimal equipment. And just remember, Start small, build it up gradually, and be consistent. Because if you do that, in 3 months' time, you're going to be in a place where you're ready to actually step up and go a little bit harder. And then you're going to start really kicking some goals, but you've got to build your foundation first. Start slow, build, and keep on building nice and slowly. And just keep doing that for the rest of your life until you are He-Man. Talk soon.